with the stakeholders, organize this sector, we can even hit the 15%. Can be 50% contribution to GDP. That's it. So those are the contributions we have. The statistics are written. You can check on all their websites. That's our contribution in terms of GDP, and then the number of people we employ. That's the latest mapping as in 2017. So we're waiting for this census that they are going to do this time. We would have hit 1 million by now. I don't know.
But the president. Okay, let's first get the rest. And before we get into this discussion, on your contribution, the contribution of this industry to Uganda.
I think me, I want to go to the figure, the last bit of what he said, or the people we employ. I want us to be realistic when we are discussing most of these things. I would start with you. When we look at the creative industry in general, I want us to look to consider the most common thing that we are familiar with, like a single song of an artist. First of all, we are the luckiest people who sell products that we don't need to market. You understand that for you to look out for a good song, you will take an hour to stream through songs, just looking out for the best song. So you are looking out for the product yourself. And once you land on it, you're going to play it, I don't know how many times. Okay? So what am I trying to drive to? That a single product of a creative artist is going to run and get involvement of, I don't know how many people. We don't know how many radio stations are playing these songs. We don't know how many TVs are playing these radio songs. We don't know how many clubs. Because when it is not our fault that the government is not able to get these taxes right for us to have a better contribution to this. You understand? It is not our fault. Because for us, we've put the works there. Now it is upon the government to see it's streamlined so that it is able to collect enough. Because I'm sure the government loses a lot because of this organization. If they only streamlined everything, trust me, they would be getting much. Because we really make losses in the artist industry.
Actually, there's a report, as I add to what he's saying, there's a report from Bank of Uganda that we lose between 200 to 300 billion shillings in uncollected royalties.
Trust me. So which other industry are you going to compare to us?
To us.
You understand?
Uncollected royalties.
Yeah. The conflicting argument here is that the president has urged us always to adopt sciences, and this is the way I'm seeing it. Yes, he's saying that scientists are going to discover vaccines, scientists are going to do great things for our country. Where are the performing arts and all these other creative artists in this? We're going to take a very short break, and we're going to return in more of that discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the creative art industry here in Uganda. And I'm with two very interesting gentlemen. You don't want to miss out on the next session. We are going to talk about, of course, the education system, if it's grooming artists or not. But later on, we also want to look at what some of the other contributing factors that the creative art industry has on our economy. Stay with us. My name is Anthony, and you're watching Smart 24 TV.
Smart 24, driving business.
The best things in life are the ones that turn out better than we plan. Bonds that turn out stronger than you imagined. Surprises that turn out even more surprising. Festivities that turn out merrier. Tukua Decor this festive season. Renew your subscription and we'll upgrade you to a higher package for free. GOTV Uganda. Love it.
Blue magic is my joy. Ono blue magic, wange. Ayo, nalaba kumabala. Atukuzana onyirira okirako enyange tayisa bubi fabriki kyonna kyekiri kigwa lwa Blue Magic is my choice. Ono Blue Magic ye wange. And Blue Magic is my choice. Hey, ono Blue Magic ye wange.
Sebo oba nnyabo olilandira odi oba olina ekifo ekipangisibwa URA ekujjukiza okwewandiisa ofune ennamba ey'omusolo eyitibwa tax identification number abasinga gye mumanyi nga TIN. Ennamba eyo ejja kuyamba okwanjula n'okusasulirako omusolo. Tusima balandira odi abaamala edda okwewandiisa n'okusasula omusolo gwabwe, era tukubiriza abo bonna abatannaba kwewandiisa bakozese akaseera kano beewandiise tukolere wamu okulaakulanya eggwanga lyaffe.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Smart 24, driving business.
A very warm welcome back to the program. Thank you so much for watching Smart 24 TV. Now remember to catch us on our Twitter and hit us up there. We are at Smart 24 TV. That's our handle. You can follow and get to follow the conversation right now. As well, you can stream live on our YouTube at Smart 24 TV live, and of course give us some feedback there. We'll be very, very glad. Now, gentlemen, when we went into the break, we're still, of course, getting to look at the contribution of this sector to the economy. But the downside is the attention that it has been given, the minimum attention and the secondary kind of treatment that it receives. And the president has urged us, as a country, to run towards sciences. And he's encouraging students not to study arts. These are going to waste their time. And the country is going towards a scientific transformation. Why would we need to study arts? Now, let's look at now a student who is out there, very passionate about the arts. He's not even good at sciences. And we know for one thing for sure, people like Fikfa Maker, they're not people who did sciences. Yes, they're not people who studied a lot, right? But they're doing great things for the creative art industry. What is your opinion on the coexistence of arts and sciences in schools, starting from primary schools? Mr.
It's very good that you use the word coexistence. My opinion will be, let's strike a balance. Before you came back, I told you scientists are going to discover medicines, but who's going to do the packaging? They're going to be graphics designers. Those are artists classified under advertising. Scientists are going to discover, innovators under science are going to discover apps. Who's going to produce the contents? Right now, look at apps that are being discovered by what? Innovated by artists. Who's going to what? Develop the content for those apps for them to be sustainable. I have an experience. I read somewhere that in all theaters, almost half of the theaters in the UK, those are surgeons play music. That music like of angel, that godly music that is coming labs. Yeah. So science and arts have always coexisted. And I'm also happy that I'm a person who's interested in the personality of the president. I've seen how he has done things from when he says that from the 60s, I did this, and then 80s. So I'm just a fan who follows his thing. So for him, his passion lies elsewhere, and his guidance on science is very good. But in my wisdom, if I'm passionate about arts, let's find a way of striking a balance, because arts and sciences can also exist. Half of the things that are running Hollywood are scientific. If these things were created without being input for creating movies in Hollywood, they couldn't the scientists couldn't have a continuity in what? In their businesses. So to me, in my opinion, science and arts can coexist. Arts one-on-one, creative. I'm creative.
Yes.
And I will die supporting the arts as because it's I've seen people, I've seen someone create a song and their lives are changed. I've seen songs and films calming people down. I've seen people create all kinds of forms and they have changed really their lives. So we just need to twitch a bit so that make it professional, make it accommodative, make it worthwhile for it. But the arts purely can also be a major contributor to GDP and also can absorb the dilemma that we're having of unemployed youths. So to me, let's strike a balance between arts and arts. That's it.
Yes, I'm going to stay with the arts side. But to be realistic, when we go to our schools, people who are good at arts usually are termed as not so good in class. And it's very hard to find those people appraised the way the sciences are appraised in school. What is your opinion? What should be done in this case, especially looking at our education system, the way you're seeing it, where it's oriented right now? What should be done so that sciences and arts can actually coexist?
I think it's quite interesting to me because sitting here as a graduate of science and a graduate of arts, it's a very good experience. I remember, let me give you a scenario. Okay, sorry, it might be quite long, but I'll make it short. When I was throughout my school time, I was so much into MDD. I was a performer. I was used to dance. I'm not good at singing. I've not tried it. I tried it in senior too, but I realized I was horrible. So I did a lot of dance and drama. So just to cut the long story short, when I was in my Form 5, I did a PCB. And everyone regarded it as a
scary one.
Very scary.
PCB and PCB.
Yes. So everyone was like, Mochi, are you still going to do drama? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do drama. So the first senior 5 I did drama. And everyone was looking at me as a very unserious student. So when I went into Form 6 lastly, everyone was like, are you still going to do drama? And I was like, no, I'm not doing drama. Now, the patron of my house, the one I was performing for, we used to call them houses. So called me and it is like, Moshi, why are you not participating in MDD? And I was like, sir, I have PCBs with on my shoulders and I can't afford to fail. And people would say I was wasting time in MDD. And my teacher told me, so Moshi, what is going to happen? Oh, no, the first question was like, is it that everyone who has failed has been performing in MDD? And I was like, no. He was like, is it that everyone who has not made it, they have been performing in MDD? I was like, no. So he told me, what is going to happen when you don't participate in MDD and you still fail? What will you have achieved? I was like, okay. I went, I performed even in my final year. What am I trying to bring out? We've been so much discouraged about the arts, like people want to call them, but I want to call them arts. Because actually, art is a science. What we do, we touch.
Now you've shifted the
yes, because that's what I want to contest the statement by the president. It goes back to what we discussed earlier about the creative industry. We are so much cornered, we limit ourselves to what we are familiar with, and we forget the bigger picture behind everything. So when we restrict our discussion on scientists as being doctors, those who manufacture, to come up with vaccines, those who inject, but we are forgetting about psychiatrists, people who sit down with you and have the art of talking you down from here to here. That is an art.
True. And
it is an art in the science. We're talking about a comedian who sings a song and you sit down when you're depressed and you get back on your feet. Today, when you look at the statistics on one of the most prevailing undiagnosed conditions we have, it is anxiety and depression. Tell me a better recommendation that heals anxiety and depression than art, than music. You know what you understand what I mean? So me, I would respect what the president's opinion, but I would say he's limited to a certain kind of line he wants the country to go to. But he's probably detached from what is actually happening on ground. He's not aware on how many people can be employed. Today, if you could find the statistics of how many doctors, unemployed doctors we have in Uganda, unemployed doctors that have either been have failed to get employment or have left sciences simply because they cannot afford to live the kind of life they want to live, but they have achieved what they regard to be sciences. Now, just to conclude on that, by forcing people to do sciences, this is why we are having people who are not passionate about what they're doing. They basically pursuing a course simply because they were told it is good, but they do not have the passion. I'm telling you, whenever I stand on stage, even if, okay, I don't want to mention this one, but even if I don't get paid, of course, you will not have me.
Okay, try to show up.
Yeah, but what I want to bring out is, there's that satisfaction it gives me, and I will give you my heart out. I've worked with doctors who are so passionate about what they do, they will give you their heart. And I've worked with doctors who are not passionate. They found themselves in the profession. Now, unfortunately, what the president could be encouraging now is we are going to have people who are walking into these professions simply because they were promised. And that is why when they get into the field and they realize they're not being paid what they were expecting, they become rebellious. I'm not promoting that they shouldn't be paid, but I'm simply saying we are creating a certain perception that is not realistic. So in my opinion, I do much think that we all need to coexist. However, if we want to accommodate, how many hospitals, how many doctors do you think a hospital needs? Just by the government structure. There are like 4 or 5 in a hospital, and a hospital serves how many people in the community? But tell me how many artists can serve a village? Even a million artists can service a village. I don't know if you get it. You understand? So some of the things we don't need a lot of statistics, we don't need a lot of science to understand them. Let us just understand them basically. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful insight. I think the arts teachers there should stop the grudge with the science students. You don't need arts are sciences as well. It's a science aspect as well. Definitely there. Now, I want to shift to the money-making business in the creative art industry. Like we've already mentioned, it contributes a lot to our economy. We've seen exactly that we need this, much as it's put in the second place, but we need it for our economy. Now, making money has changed because back then we used to have CDs, tapes, and so on, and someone could actually sell them out and make money. But in the digital era, things are different, and with even COVID, things changed even more. So we are in the digital transformation era where we are going digital on everything, and it's becoming sometimes a little bit harder for the conservative people to actually make money. I want to get your opinions on what artists, both musicians, performing artists, and all artists and technicians in this space can actually explore and innovate in the current digital space to make money. I'll start with you, Mr. Emma Carlos.
Oh, thank you. Let's use that. I'm going to use music as a yardstick. A musician trades in the industry as a brand. When in Waji, use a chameleon as that's the brand. Away from the personality. So from the brand, they can have merchandises, they can have endorsements, shows, concerts, appearances, image rights on billboards, by appearances. They can make money out of that. Then the music or the song, the product. Let's look at the product. Like, let me say Chameleon has produced Forever, Mudra has Balo Balo, Khalifa Kataga has Muchidongo. Now, how does that song, how do you pack that song to make money? First of all, as a song, it can make money off streaming platforms. There are a couple of them, there are 17, Tidal, Spotify, iTunes, Audiomack, there are 70 music stores. We have aggregators that can get you there. Internationally, we have CD Baby, TunePower, but right now we have a localized one, which is obviously that can get you on the streaming spectrum. I was checking out today that each stream on Spotify earns you 0.001, between 0.001 to 0.008. That means if you have a million streams, you're able to earn between $1,000 to $8,000. But take a million streams.
Yes,
that's another market. So a song can get money off a platform. Now, if you have moved from audio to audio visual, which is a music video, you can make on what? On YouTube, and then placement in other what? In other music videos. Then the other things where you can make money, placements, like your audio can be placed in adverts in movies to make money. Then the other one is royalties. Royalties are collected under what we call CMOs. Like for instance, in Uganda, we have UPRS for musical works. We have UFMI for audiovisual films. Then we have Euro for the literary works. So CMOs are collective management organization whereby all musicians like from users of their work. So they collect themselves under CMO, like UPRS, and then
have a collective bargain.
Thank you very much. Then all that money is put into one pool and then distributed later on to the owners of the works as well as royalties. Then downloads, and then the other cash cow that we have in Uganda right now, because the culture of streaming is just coming in. The other cash cow that we have are CRBTs. CRBTs are coloring back tones. That money that that money that hand over swap, that is telecoms like MTN, Airtel upload for customers to use as what? A color back tone. But right now we have a problem with CRBTs, and there's an ongoing discussion when we come to copyright. We shall mention on how exactly what to maximize the returns of what on CRBTs. I would also want to use this opportunity to encourage every artist that is watching, or manager, or any person who has a relative who's doing music, stop sharing your MP files on WhatsApp. You would rather share, it's what they call a smart link. When you upload your music onto the streaming platforms, they give you what they call a smart link. A smart link will have a link for Tidal, a link for AudioMac, a link for iTunes, a link for Spotify. So a person, when you send them that link, you're getting those views. Imagine if you share a song with me, I'll share it in a day like 10 people. Those 10 people share it to another 10 people. At the end of the day, you'll have like 1,000 streams lost. Yeah. So I'm encouraging artists, let's all go digital. There's so much money on the digital space. It's starting slowly, because I remember when we had started back like 10 years ago, we never even used to embrace YouTube. Right now we're embracing YouTube. Let's all embrace these streaming platforms like the way we embrace what? YouTube. So commercialization, first, you're trading as a brand. The brand is chameleon. So the face, the image shall be used on the poster, create awareness, come and do shows. But in the absence of the brand chameleon, the music or the song can still make money on the streaming platforms, placements, royalties, downloads, and ringtones. So that's how basically someone can commercialize their products under music. I'm getting familiar on how best movie people can do it. I know you sell off rights streaming platforms like Netflix, DSTV, will explain more. Then for people like dramatists, like comedians right now, comedians are losing a lot of money. You can see people sharing mariachi's content on TikTok, on YouTube, and you feel like crying. But when we come to the law, there's what they're going to put. They are called WIPO protocols. It's called a takedown notice. At the end of the day, if Marisha ever organizes himself and sits down, you'll have the right to have all those people, apart from people like even Comedy Store. If he did sign a release deal, Mariachi owns part of that content. So Mariachi will have an opportunity. I'm giving you an example of Mariachi because it's one who has embraced the YouTube. Right now, Mariachi will be making millions and making millions of money off YouTube. So a time opportunity will come where you can issue a takedown notice and all his work is taken down, so it creates one channel of Mariachi. That's the future. Wow. Thank you very much.
Very interesting. Mr. Mugabe, the performing arts and drama, it seems a little bit trickier because now for you cannot stream, you cannot, YouTube, okay, yes, but not much there. So how are we going to make money in the digital era?
I think first and foremost for me to attempt that, I would say, my senior here would bear me with.
But theater is finding a problem.
Trust me, and after COVID, things are really not easy. However, I want to go back to even before COVID. I really want to make COVID the issue. I don't want to put the fault on COVID. I want to go back to how we started, with how we found ourselves in the arts industry. We have a problem which I'm sure you'll agree with me. Most of the people walk into this industry not to make money.
Yeah.
People
But now
want
the
to be
perspective-
stars. Yes.
But the perspective
Yes.
changing.
Yes.
Actually, it started. Yes, we were passionate about it.
we are-
Actually, even the president mentioned it.
Yes.
This sector has shifted from being an amusement activity
now it
to
is.
being a job. occupation.
Now,
Yeah,
now
true.
the
You're very
problem
right.
with the problem with that is when you don't set your mind from the word go. By the time we realize, I'm sorry, I don't want to mention names of the I would use musicians, the so-called big musicians. I personally feel so bad when I see some of them perform in some areas, hear them in some sort of conduct, and you're disappointed because they're at a point where you feel like at this time they would be far away. However, I don't blame them. It is not their fault. It is that was
So actually, the one is at that time it was a choice between survival and commercial.
Exactly. Now,
so you chose survival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I would use my example, which I know cuts across. We have musicians who start to sing today, and their dream is to hear their song on the radio. Is to pass somewhere and they're like, yeah, I know him, you're Yakuba Kaimba. And that is enough satisfaction for them. We have actors who come and their dream is to be seated in their sitting room with their relatives and they show them on TV.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when such people come in, honestly, they don't set themselves to earn from this. Okay? It is a passion of I want to be a star, I want to be something. Not until they get to a point where they realize actually being a star can only be maintained with some earning. You understand? So now that's where we start fidgeting. Now, in my opinion, I would say, yeah, because honestly, we start fidgeting. That's when we realize we realize now actually, you understand all that kind of thing. So now, in my opinion, I would say there are so many ways to get money out of this industry. However, what does it call for? It calls for planning. It calls for you looking at it as a job. I'm sure you did your preps when you are coming for this. I'm sure when the show is done, you sit back and you think on how to make the next show better. Yeah. On which idea, which topic to discuss, because you want it to be good, because it is your job. Yeah. You understand? Now, the bad thing with us, the creatives, is we have a lot of confidence. We know we are the gods of our works. We know I'm a songwriter, I'm an actor. You understand? So we don't put in the homework. Now, when we don't put in the homework, we give pseudo work. Now, when we give pseudo work, I use pseudo means shady work, work that is not good. Now, when the work is not good, we have to force the audience to like the not so good work. Now, in the verge of in the process of wanting the audience to fall in love with our not so good work, we become desperate. Now, when we become desperate, we forget about the money-making aspects and we become petty. You understand? We become that is why we start fearing the music, like he said, in MP3, because we want the music to go out there so that I'm able to be booked for a show for 500,000. You understand? For one night. You understand? Whereas I could earn the 500 in a week. But seated home without even performing. Yeah. You understand? So the desperacy that was as a result of us not looking at this as a job, as my job, catches up with us later on. So in my opinion, I would say we can actually make the money. Music before was making good money, but even now film is making money. People are earning good money out of film. You know why? They're doing good works. So me, what I would say is there are actually platforms willing to buy your work. They are willing to take on your content for as long as it is good. Because good content will always have the market out there. So no one wants, like everyone else wants to sell out the good product, a product that can be bought. So people will come looking for it once it is good. But when the moment we continue thinking that it is my world, I do as I please, and people will like it, there's nothing like that. It is a job. People expect something, give them good content. The money is there. He has mentioned most of these platforms. With film, we have channels taking on. I'm sure Smart TV will soon be calling for, if not, they're already showing some local dramas. These are all platforms. You understand? So when you sell them your content, they're giving you some money. Smart TV is selling you this. Once they're done showing this show, take it on YouTube. It is going to be there forever. Just mobilize people to watch. Once the content is good, Emma Carlos will only watch one episode and it will trigger him to look out for the second, for the third, for the fourth. Before you know you are earning, he's recommending it to a friend. So me, in my opinion, I would say, how are we making money in the industry? We are making money by doing good work fast. Before anything, trust me, I'm not going to look out for Spotify, AudioMac, and Netflix if your content is not good. But when the movie is good, I'll go Netflix, I'll buy data, I'll look out for it. So the foundation is the good work, and the platforms are coming, the streamlines are coming. So I personally draw that as the foundation to what we need to make money.
I've seen TikTok is coming up. Very many people are coming up on TikTok. Yeah. I don't know if this content is protected or there is a way people are earning from it.
It's fair use. Content. That's why they don't allow you to go beyond a minute.
Okay.
Under international law, Uganda-wide intellectual property organization, there is an aspect of fair use. So it's allowed. That's why you see they do short videos.
Yes.
But content pays the rights owners through reciprocal agreements to think it. They can pay you directly, like people are outstanding on TikTok. They can pay you directly, but the artists. No, okay, this is how TikTok is commercialized. You, the account owner, let me say Uncle Mo, who are paid for creating that content on your numbers. The standards are there if you Google them. Then the person, the rights owners of the song, let me say they are dancing to Balo Balo or making my on Balo Balo. For them, they are paid through reciprocal agreements. That's how TikTok is.
Very good. I see your
You need to have the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to have the numbers to go commercial. I think at a minimum of 50,000, and then they have their rates.
But I don't know if performing art you're seeing this people in this industry.
I don't know how should we. Yes, actually, what should be? How do we classify TikTokers?
I think
it's between performance. It's a little bit common. It's a new thing.
It's a new thing, to be honest. However,
but they are performing.
Yeah, they are performing, and actually, some of them
looking at landlords.
Yeah, some of them you look at them and you realize they're actually putting in effort, creativity, and I really don't want. I credit them, like they really do some work. There are those that really do.
Actually, so some of them got a billboard deal.
Yeah, and they're actually
like, gee, just come up.
No, we need to be realistic because what works in this kind of technological generation of ours is we look at numbers. Today, when someone is looking out for promoting something, an item, a product, or something, they want numbers. So if someone is able to do a live video on TikTok and they have 5,000 people watching,
actually,
they have 10,000. Yes.
Forgive for interrupting. Before I even forget. Our template back in the day promoting music was, doing a good song in the studio, go secure airplay on radio, TV, and but right now, if you don't have a minimum of top 10 TikTokers influencing that song, it won't hit its maximum. You understand? So that's how
but you know why that's true? Because they have the numbers. And now TikTok, apps like TikTok have become really tricky because now it is just here. I can be here while watching my TikTok and I can pause it and continue. You understand? So they are that convenient. So we really need to find ways of evolving that at some point you might find you have to do this show but still have a TikTok segment. You understand? Some of the other people can actually watch it. And then the beauty about it is that it crosses borders. You understand? So you have something in Uganda but someone in Abu Dhabi is able to watch, someone in Germany can able to
people watching on YouTube.
So we cannot rule out this. However, we just need to educate. Me, in my opinion, is we just need to educate. We need to tell these influencers after you've been able to create your content, how are you able to commercialize? Because right now they could be getting some money out of it, but they're underpaid. They are taking advantage of it because they are ignorant about.
A few weeks ago, before we came in, I think beginning of January. Now I'm speaking as Executive Secretary National Culture Program. The Apex body that takes associations. They approached us. They want to form an association, but I told them you can't form an association of TikTokers only. Because what you're doing is influencing. So you rather form an influencers association. So that also you include the people on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. So that because right now TikTokers could be more vibrant than the YouTubers, but the YouTubers also coming. The Twitterers are also coming. So we'd rather have an association of influencers. So I think by it's our mandate to organize such people. By end of February, we should have been able to mobilize them to have an association so they can have bargaining power. And the next big thing by now.
And just conclude that, I think That is what we need. That is why I contest what the president said. Because right now, I know TikTokers who are doing TikTokers full time.
Yeah, full time.
That is their job.
That's their
Yes.
And they can earn a minimum of
I'm telling you.
They can earn a minimum of 50,000.
Yes,
a
a day.
Wow.
Do you know what that means? And someone is seated at in their convenience at home.
As yet,
As
you can just influence your soul.
Yeah.
You don't have between $500 to $1,000, depending on where you have. Just influencing it 30 seconds. You can between $500 to $1,000.
You can imagine. Me, I have my friends here who work with that theater who do simple comedy.
Yeah.
But they will tell you, you know what, a month, if I calculate how much I'm earning from TikTok alone, someone will tell you I have a 2.5. Do you know what that means in the economy? You understand? So what I think is we just need to organize. Let us just organize.
We shall come to that part.
Yeah.
What the government is supposed to do, what the government will do, private sector will do, and then with the practitioners, to have this, get to rightful position.
I think the doctors are off their feet right now. If someone can make 2.5 million, we're getting them swept off their feet. But of course, these are very interesting parts. Knowing the fact that there's a report recently that showed 60% Ugandans earn less than 200,000 a month.
That's true.
That's the report. Meaning people are broke and the economy is getting worse. If we could have such streams of income and we harness them and we actually don't let them go, it could be of great help for our young population. But we have to take a very short break now. When we return, we want to talk about the content we are putting out there. Is it original enough? We know South Africans have the Amapiano beat, which is going crazy all over Africa. But it's going crazy because they held on it when no one met them on it, right? And they held on their identity. What is our identity as Uganda's creative art industry? My name is Anthony. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a very short break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.